Yes, a very beautiful afternoon. This is also another time that we are getting back together again, connected as usual. And my name is Moses Utieno. Unaitwa nani?
Damiano Zanunda.
Yes, and we are ndani ya show Konki what's trending. What's trending right now? We're going to look at what's trending, some of the things that are rocking the country as we speak. So wherever you are, I just want you to join me in this particular session so that tuelimishane kabisa. Jana imekuwaje, leo imekuwaje, that is how is today, how was yesterday, we don't know about tomorrow. So in our what is trending today, we're going to focus on this story. This is a story that maybe we are going to look into. This is a story that we are going to look into, and this is a story that we wanna look into. Hiyo ni nini tamu?
Tamu sana kabisa.
Hiyo ya huyo mama.
Hiyo mama. Kawaida wa mama anatengeneza kitu tamu bwana.
Mimi ni mango hii. Wewe una
hii ni garlic.
Oh, hiyo ni garlic. So we are taking blended juice.
Yeah.
And it's very amazing. It's very amazing. It's very amazing.
Welcome everybody.
Yes. So what's trending? Let's look at what is trending. What's trending? Ida Odinga thanks William Ruto for ensuring Raila's dignified farewell. Hand of friendship. So Ida Odinga amesema kwamba William Samoei Ruto alionyesha mkono wa urafiki kwa Raila. So a hand of friendship between which Ruto displayed during Raila funeral. Tuangalie hii. Ida Odinga expressed gratitude to President William Ruto and other ex-presidents for their support during Raila Odinga's funeral. Remember Raila alipewa state funeral. State funeral, everybody could see that Raila Odinga was accorded state funeral, and so jana ilikuwa ni birthday ya Raila. So Ida Odinga took that moment to thank President William Ruto for according Raila Odinga a state burial, and according to Ida, that was a show of a hand of friendship. That was a show of a friendship hand. Another issue is this: U.S. suspends assistance to Somalia. U.S. suspends assistance to Somalia. So the United States has suspended all assistance programs that directly benefit the federal government of Somalia. This is following allegations that the government officials destroyed a World Food Program warehouse and seized food aid meant for vulnerable communities. So msaada kutoka Somalia imekatishwa ghafla. Okay? So that's also trending right now. And of late, Donald Trump has been castigating the Somali government and even the Somali community living in the US. Okay? By saying that that they don't have a country. Something like that. So that's also something that is trending right now. Tuangalie tena hii. Miguna explains why he didn't attend Raila's burial. Miguna explains why he didn't attend Raila's burial. Let me just play this particular sound from Miguna. Miguna was once a fierce critic of Raila Odinga. Okay? Miguna never attended Raila's funeral. Miguna Miguna. Some of his clips, Miguna on Raila Odinga. Miguna on Raila Odinga. Kwa sababu Miguna amesema that Raila hakuattend funeral ya relative wake. Okay? So yeye pia haja attend a funeral ya Raila Odinga. Haja attend matanga ya Raila Odinga. Nataka tusikize sauti yake Miguna. Some of his clips about Raila Odinga. This is him. This is Miguna. Miguna.
You know what people don't understand and what people refuse to acknowledge is that I helped Raila become Prime Minister in 2007. Right? Okay. Together with others. It was not me who became Prime Minister, it was him. But who made him Prime Minister? People like us, right? And once he became Prime Minister, I became his advisor. From the time I was his advisor, 2009 to 2011, there was no vurugu, there was no controversy, there was no one scandal, there was no negative headline news about me. So how come the so-called vurugu only come in when Raila betrays me? That was the first betrayal. Raila told me to write an article about Isaac Hassan, the former chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission. Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And I did, on instruction.
Karibu.
Once the article came, and you know I don't write tepid articles, it came strongly like my articles always come. Yeah, definitely. And everybody was scurrying and running away and making noise, right?
Yes, Joseph, welcome to the show.
Raila then turned around and suspended me because I wrote the article, which he told me to write. He's the one who instructed me to write the article. I have it in writing. Once I wrote the article, I gave him to approve, and he approved. I have that in writing. The article came out, and then he accused me of misrepresenting the office of the Prime Minister and suspended me on the basis of that article. That's why I call him a conman. That's what a conman does. He sends you to fetch water, you bring water, then you say you stole the water. Wow. Getting receipts. But the fact is, that's actually what happened. So there was no vurugu. There was no dispute. There was no disagreement.
People assume there was disagreement with your advisor. A lot of people, the Raila diehards, were like, oh, Miguna now, apana, huyu watakikani huko ametubetray. But now,
but Obina, like this. Just before then, I was praised by the same people. Like the constitutional review.
Yes, that is Miguna. Na amesema he did not attend Raila's funeral because Raila Odinga did not attend the funeral of his cousin. So, according to Miguna, if Raila would have attended his cousin's funeral, he would have also attended the funeral of Raila Odinga. And this is not an ordinary funeral. Raila Odinga almost worked with every politician, every president, except Jomo Kenyatta. Every president except Jomo. Every politician. All right. So that was Raila Amolo Odinga. Let's look into another issue that's also trending. Let's look at another issue that's also trending. Okay. Joseph Mwas, I can see you. Let's also look at another issue that is trending. Umemaliza juice yako?
Bado kali bana.
This is blended juice.
Tamu kweli.
Tamu kweli. Okay, let's look at another issue that's also trending and making shockwaves. Francis Atwoli tells off man accusing him of not securing KDF jobs for lawyers. Wacheni mchezo. Wacha mchezo. Francis Atwoli tells off man accusing him of not securing KDF jobs for lawyers. I'm not your MCA. I think this was during JKL live show yesterday, and Atwoli said a lot of things. One of them defending UNET, and another saying that Sifuna did not start attacking broad-based government this year or last year. It started immediately. The broad-based deal had been reached. So according to Atwoli, he responded to a man by saying that he is not an MCA to offer KDF slots to lawyers. Okay. Then another issue that's also trending is this, and this is AFCON 20. This is AFCON. This is AFCON. I think I'll cover that in our next. Another issue that is trending, Francis Atwoli says Uhuru Kenyatta responsible for Raila's 2022 loss because he is the sponsor. Now, there have been mixed reactions within the ODM, Orange Democratic Movement, regarding individuals who contributed to Raila's loss in 2022. ODM SG Edwin Sifuna publicly blamed National Assembly Minority Leader Junet Mohamed, saying he mismanaged campaign funds donated by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. But now, speaking on Citizen TV on Wednesday, January 7th, that is yesterday, Atwoli claimed Uhuru contributed largely to Raila's failed presidential bid. Samuel Ouma, Sifuna, Orengo, Babu, Natembea and Nyoro ndio wazito. Unasemaje hapo Goba?
Ako sawa. Very clear.
I don't know. From an angle that I sit, Francis Atwoli confirmed that Uhuru Kenyatta should be blamed for Raila's presidential loss in 2022. Because one, Uhuru had told Raila that he had the government machinery. This followed that Azimio team failed to have agents, to put agents across the polling stations around the country. Ruto had set up even National Tallying Center and agents across the country for presidential election. Raila didn't across the country. So William Ruto's votes were guarded, while Raila Odinga's votes were not guarded. As a result of that, Raila lost to William Ruto. When Raila lost to William Ruto, they went to the Supreme Court. That is where the name of UNET comes in. UNET, according to Senior Counsel Ahmed Nasir, UNET bribed some judges of the Supreme Court. According to Senior Counsel Ahmed Nasir, UNET bribed some Supreme Court judges. The verdict was rendered to William Ruto. That is how Raila Odinga lost that particular election. That is how Raila Odinga lost that election. Another issue that is also making many to wonder: did Uhuru campaign for Raila openly in Mount Kenya? Did Uhuru Kenyatta campaign to Raila in Mount Kenya. Of course, there are a lot of questions to be answered. But the worst is Raila lost to William Ruto. And so according to Francis Atwoli, Junet is innocent. According to Francis Atwoli, Junet is very innocent. Let me look at another story that's also causing jitters. Another story that is now causing jitters across the country. Let's look at this. This is what Francis Atwoli said yesterday that is also trending. Ruto will leave after his 2 terms. But if it were me, I would change this constitution. Atwoli also hinted on Ruto to rule for life. Let's listen in to Francis Atwoli.
You have not realized this. And in Africa, whatever you come up, even if you have a strategic 100 years plan, somebody who comes in will come with his own plan. See today where Konza City is. Kibaki wanted Konza City to be a bigger city, to attract, to be an IT city. Today we would be having an artificial intelligence institution or highly advanced information technology university in Konza, and we would have offloaded the population in Nairobi to Konza. That was the idea of Kibaki, that we must have a post-independent city like Tanzania, Dodoma, Morocco, Marrakesh, and several new cities in Egypt, and other places who have come up with new cities after independence. That was the idea of Kibaki. But other successive presidents who have been coming in place, they don't want to address those issues to make sure the Kibaki's dream is realized. And that is where we are. That's why I'm saying they come up with their own policies, their own whatever they want to.
So it's like starting from zero every
Absolutely.
time. Zero.
So I'm saying it is better to have a president who can be in place for some time to see what he's doing. Like now, these changes William is trying to put in place. This requires a very brave person. And you have heard him when he's saying, leave the rest to me. Nitachukua msalaba if what I'm doing is wrong. And that is the right of the leader we want. A leader who sees ahead and he can say, if you think it is risk for me to be re-elected, leave it for me. And within a short time, you see the changes. You see how many times, how many years did the Prime Minister of Singapore was in place. Singapore, you are acquiring.
Correct.
Yeah.
40 plus.
Yeah, 40 plus.
Lee Kuan Yew.
Absolutely.
40 plus.
Yeah. Why are you talking about Singapore?
He was
Because he was in place to see his dream being realized. Jeff, your dream must be realized. What you want must be realized. Today, even if I left the labor movement, I go home with the head high because of what I have done in this country. We have amended labor laws during my time. We are reflected in the national constitution during my time. We have brought stability during my time. We have spread employment and labor relations codes everywhere in the country. Nyeri, Kericho, Eldoret, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa. When it was one in Nairobi.
It's okay. So, and then Kibaki was very...
So according to Francis Atwoli, Ruto should extend more than 10 years to realize this, to actualize the Singapore dream. What are some of the things that Ruto has done to actually even compare him to maybe heading to Singapore? Ruto amefanya nini ndio tuseme kwamba indeed this person needs time for us to get to Singapore or start the journey of getting to Singapore? Ruto amefanya nini? What has William Ruto done? What is this that Ruto has done for the last 3 years? or 4 years. Because 2027, we are going to another election. After every 5 years, Kenyans, we normally go to elections after every 5 years. But scorecard of William Ruto. What is this that William Ruto has done in these 4 years? One, in 2023, Raila Odinga's supporters died in the demonstrations. In 2024, Gen Zs, many Gen Zs died across the country, including in the Kenyan parliament. This ensued with abductions and extrajudicial killings were witnessed. Rampant corruption in governments, mega scandals in government, cronyism has been witnessed in the administration of William Ruto. So, Ruto amefanya nini in these 4 years that would make Francis Atwoli to say that Ruto should actually rule for 20 or 40 years or 30 years? Amefanya nini? You know, lazima we must look at the scorecard of President Ruto before we compare him to Lee Kuan Yew of Malaysia. Before we compare William Ruto to Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, I mean, what has Ruto done? It declared savings mandatory for all Kenyans. Has he? He hasn't said that corruption is punishable through death penalty. Cobenata Africa, thank you. He hasn't said that forced national integration is a must. So let us look at the scorecard of William Ruto before even saying that we need Ruto to extend term limits to actualize to actualize the Kenyan dream of being like Singapore. Thank you for subscribing, Coben. So there, I want to disagree with Francis Atwoli. Ruto has done very little. Ruto has done very little in making sure that Kenya becomes like Singapore. Very little. I don't think Ruto has done more for this country. Talk of the youths who were killed during the Gen Z demonstrations, during the Azimio demonstrations. Talk of them. Talk of the promises, the empty promises that Ruto normally comes up with. That is dishonesty. So, the bottom line, Lee Kuan Yew did not build Singapore through lies. Not through lies, not through favoritism, not through enhancing cronyism, not through, disregarding court orders. Yeah. So, and by the way, by disregarding court orders, multiple court orders, Lee Kuan Yew never did that. Lee Kuan Yew did not make Singapore an NATO ally to US. That one, Lee Kuan Yew never did. Lee Kuan Yew never sent his soldiers to Haiti to go and get killed in Haiti in exchange of some goodies from America. Lee Kuan Yew never did that. So, we need another leader, not Ruto. Ruto cannot make Kenya to be like Singapore. Ruto cannot make Kenya look like Singapore. That is a lie. I think people like Francis Atwoli must be called to order before, making such utterances. So news Justin is that Rigathi Gachagua has also brought Nairobi to a standstill today. Rigathi Gachagua has brought Nairobi to a standstill today as we speak. Let me just play that sound so that you can get it. We can get close to what Rigathi Gachagua is saying.
Lakini wakati umefika tuamke mapema, tufukuze Kasongo na Sakaja, wote waende nyumbani. Harambee! Harambee! Wakati nasema Sakaja ende. Watu wetu, unajua watu wamehangaishwa. Huyu Kasongo alisema atatuweka pesa kwa mfuko. Kuliko atuweke pesa kwa mfuko, akatoa ile kidogo tulikuwa nayo.
Nairobi inawaka moto.
Ni mwizi si mwizi. Aende asiende. Wakati nasema Kasongo aende, Kasongo aende, Kasongo aende.
So Rigathi Gachagua has brought Nairobi to a standstill today, and it is an onslaught against William Samoei Ruto. Initially, it used to be Raila Odinga bringing Nairobi to a standstill, but today Rigathi Gachagua has done it. Rigathi Gachagua has actually brought Nairobi to a standstill, and he has addressed Nairobians, and it is amazing, 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 amazing. Another news that is trending: Pastor James Irungu hugged a tree for 79 hours and collapsed just minutes before hitting 80. Pastor James Irungu hugged a tree for 79 hours and collapsed just minutes before hitting 80. Not for clout, not for politics, just to force a conversation on cancer. So this guy hugged a tree for 79. He wanted to break that record of hugging a tree for 80 hours. But at 79 hours, he hugged a tree. So a lot of things are coming out. He was doing this to raise awareness on a conversation on cancer. To me, that was a very good cause. That was a very good cause. Of course, people are many netizens who are trolling him in various social media platforms, and I wonder why he should be trolled. Why should he be trolled, really? So that is this. That is also something that is trending right now. Let me look at another story. Let me look at another story that's also breaking news again, and this is all the way from US, America. Donald Trump signs executive order suspending US support for this particular assistance. So Kenya is facing a fresh challenges after the United Nations, USA, pulled out 66 international organizations, many of which support projects directly in Kenya. The decision followed an executive order signed by US President Donald Trump yesterday. So that is there. So 66 organizations have been, suspended These organizations are working on Kenyan key projects. This is a huge blow to the government and especially President William Ruto. Okay. All right. Yesterday there was a plot. There was a plot to kill Burkina Faso leader Ibrahim Traore, and again, the plot to assassinate Ibrahim Traore was thwarted. And this is a statement that just reads: "Our intelligence services intercepted this operation in the final hours. They had a plan to assassinate the head of state and then strike other key institutions, including civilian personalities," said Mahamudu Sana. That is one of the generals in Burkina Faso. Okay, let's look into another issue here. Let's look into another issue. Let's look at another issue that's also trending right now. Federal Baraza is saying Uhuru Kenyatta should stay away from politics. Why Uhuru Kenyatta should stay away from politics? For me, Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza is saying why Uhuru Kenyatta should stay away from politics or active politics. According to me, I think Uhuru Kenyatta should not stay out of the Kenyan politics. Number one, Uhuru is still young and active. Uhuru should not be partisan to what? To politics. Uhuru should not support ODM or UDA or TNA. Uhuru should unify the whole country. But saying that Uhuru Kenyatta should quit politics, that is impossible. Uhuru cannot quit politics. Let us not lie to ourselves. Uhuru cannot quit politics. Uhuru must just be part and parcel of the Kenyan politics. Okay? Let me look at another story that's also trending and shaking the waves. Let me just look at also another issue that's also trending right away. Let me look at that story. Another story that is, trending right now. Trump withdraws U.S. from UN Habitat headquarters in Kenya. Trump withdraws the U.S. from UN Habitat headquarters in Kenya. Trump withdraws the U.S. from UN Habitat headquartered in Kenya. It seems there is a rift between Donald Trump and William Ruto. There is a rift between Donald Trump and William Ruto. It seems. So Ruto's rift with the US is just getting thicker than Brookside milk, of course. And soon Ruto will realize Trump is not like Biden who used to massage him at the Oval Office. So this is just breaking. Trump withdraws the US from UN habitat headquartered in Kenya, Nairobi. Now it seems there is a rift, and William Ruto must be very careful. William Samoei Ruto must be very careful, because Donald Trump can even arrest him. Donald Trump can even arrest him. William Samoei Ruto must be very careful with how he is going to handle Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not like Joe Biden, who used to massage Ruto's back in the Oval Office in Washington. Donald Trump is serious and means real business. As we speak, if he wants to capture any president, he would just go, send his troops, and you are captured and you are taken to a US court. And with this development, why would UN now shift their why would US transfer or withdraw their habitat, their UN habitat in Nairobi? That's an issue that needs serious scrutiny. But we are following closely to see what will transpire over that. But I don't think the relationship between US and Kenya, William Ruto, is solid. I don't think so. Let us also focus on another story. Let's focus on another story that maybe is also of concern. Another story that is also trending. Kenya targets Singapore-style growth as Parliament approves key tax treaty. But I've said this severally, Kenya cannot be like Singapore. You see, we cannot develop a country through copy-paste as a style of governance. We cannot. We cannot copy-paste governance style, because personalities. What are the ideals of Lee Kuan Yew? What are the ideals of William Ruto? How did William Ruto rose to leadership? Before we go to copy-paste, before Kenya copy-paste Singapore. What are the ideals of William Ruto? What were the ideals of Lee Kuan Yew? Let us not lie to ourselves. Lee Kuan Yew did not face rampant court cases. William Ruto is faced with rampant graft cases, more so land grabbing cases. Lee Kuan Yew did not face land grabbing cases in Singapore. Singapore was a country started from nothing to something in 1965. Kenya started in 1963 with the army, with the police, with everything, with the resources, and still came short. That is an issue that Murang'a man collapses after hitting 79 hours in tree-hugging fit. Pastor James Irungu, the Murang'a man seeking to better the tree-hugging record set by tree-planting ambassador to Fena Mudhoni, collapsed after spending 79 hours and 40 minutes in an 80-hour tree-hugging marathon challenge. Following the incident, those at the venue moved in to assist him before he was taken for medical attention. Authorities later confirmed that Pastor Irungu is in stable condition. The challenge, which involved continuously hugging a tree for the duration, was closely followed by many Kenyans, with updates shared widely as the hours progressed. Earlier on, a huge crowd had turned up at the site where the 30-year-old man was hugging a tree to create awareness on cancer in Murang'a town. Congratulations, James Irungu, for that tree hugging challenge. The world has heard you. The nation has heard you. Everybody around the world has heard you. We need to have a conversation on cancer. We need what? We need to have a conversation on cancer. The world has heard Pastor James Irungu. Cancer is indeed a killer. So the world, we've heard you. The world has heard you. The nation has heard you. The government have heard you. You have been heard. Even though you never accomplished the 80-hour record, but it is still beautiful. The world has heard you. Everybody has, heard you. Many people thought that he was doing that to be in the Guinness Book of Records, but it's not about being in the Guinness Book of Records. It's about creating awareness on cancer. And I think, congratulations, Pastor James Irungu from Murang'a. This is also trending. If Uhuru couldn't make Raila Odinga president, how will he make Matiang'i? That is quote to SG Francis Atwoli. If Uhuru couldn't make Raila president, how could he make Matiang'i president? Lakini let's talk facts. Hata Raila had a role to play. Uhuru was not to make him president. Uhuru was to support him. But they were relying on deep state and rigging of elections. In 2022, what failed Raila was that he was relying on Uhuru Kenyatta to grab the leadership, to rig elections in his favor. But I think Ruto had also his own ways of ensuring that he grabs the leadership. So, indeed, if Matiang'i is relying on Uhuru to make him president, there is no way Uhuru can make Matiang'i president. There is no way. Unless he traverses the country, unless he guards his votes, unless Matiang'i rotates around the country looking for votes. Because, truth be told, with the following that Raila had, with all that following, Raila still came short of William Ruto. And he was defeated. And he relied on Uhuru Kenyatta's support. And I think that Raila Odinga over-depended on Uhuru. And so if Matiang'i is going to depend on Uhuru, over-depend on Uhuru Kenyatta, is not going to be president. He's going to be defeated with William Ruto or by William Ruto. Remember, Ruto is saying like this, Mimi nimejipanga, my friend. That is what Ruto is saying. Mimi nimejipanga, my friend. Hawa watu kazi yao ni kusema tu term. That is now Ruto. But it is true what Francis Atwoli is saying. Matiang'i should not depend on Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, I doubt if Uhuru Kenyatta can give Kenyans a president, a good president. Uhuru Kenyatta cannot give Kenyans a good president. Why? Because when Uhuru took over 2013, Kenya had a debt of 2 trillion international debt. I think majorly from international lending institutions. When Uhuru took over, by the time Uhuru was leaving, Kenya had over 8 trillion debt. Under Uhuru Kenyatta, there were also scandals such as Eurobond, among other scandals, the NYS scandal, the Ruaraka land fraud. No, Uhuru Kenyatta cannot give Kenyans a better president. But even if Uhuru Kenyatta gives Kenyans a president, that president cannot win. If it is Matiang'i, I doubt if Matiang'i can win. Uhuru Kenyatta still has that bad omen, that bad political omen, that is still trailing him. And I think another blunder was Raila allowing Uhuru Kenyatta to support him because he was seen like a project. That is number one. Number two, the people of Kenya wanted change. And seeing Uhuru campaigning for Raila, with the tough economic times at the time, it was not going to be easy for Kenyans to elect Raila. So the 2022 general elections, Ruto won in 2022. If I'm to rule out rigging claims, if I'm to rule out petitions filed by Azimio, the judgment, which was led by Martha Koome, the CJ, was a fair judgment. If now they are saying that Uhuru was to help Raila win through rigging of elections and using state machinery, then Ruto won the 2022 elections. Benjamin, Juma, I can see you. Thank you so much. Douglas, Kip Kugei, thank you so much. If you ask me what I'm drinking, I'm drinking blended juice, which is very because according to Raila diehards, they wanted Uhuru to hand over power to Raila. But remember, Ruto won. IEBC had declared that Ruto won. Uhuru would not have done anything. He respected the ruling of IEBC, the will of the people. Azimio went to court, they lost to court. Very interesting. Very interesting times indeed. Very interesting times indeed. Very interesting times indeed. Let me look at this other issue that's also trending. is Hassan Joho. We have agreed Ruto ni mbili bila break. This is Hassan Joho. We have agreed Ruto ni mbili bila break. Let's listen in to Hassan Joho.
Kwa sababu mlikuwa some of you were trying to ile jamani la mwisho. Kwa sababu nasikia kuna lunch na mimi na njaa. La mwisho. I want you to know. Safari ya kesho upangwa. Take it seriously. I want you guys to take it seriously. Safari ya kesho upangwa lini? Leo. Now, God has given us a chance. God has given us an opportunity. Number one, we've had a strong partnership with the people of Luo Nyanza and the western part of our country. Sivyo, we have had partnership with the northeastern part and upper eastern of our country. Sivyo, now God has given us an opportunity to create new partnership, particularly in the areas of Rift Valley, ambao wana kura nyingi. Sivyo, sivyo, kupanga siasa ya kesho upangwa lini? Siasa ya kesho upangwa lini? Leo. So, what do we need to do for the coastal region to have a chance to be president? Because we must have ambitions. Hiyo ikulu ya Manyi Madharau nitaikalia mimi. Ebwe. Na kama una mke kama Amina Mnyazi, you can apply to be first lady. Amina, kama una bwana unaweza kuwa first lady. Wake ni mrembo mrembo. So I want to tell you, what is our chance? What is our real chance is to broaden our allies, isn't it? So where do we see it? Rift Valley. How do we do it? We support one William Ruto. Tumwambie bana tulikuunga na wakati ukifika tuunge. Ama namna gani? Si namna hiyo? Because we have to be pragmatic, the way Suleiman Shabal said. Politics is about being pragmatic. Because after all, it is the arithmetics, numbers 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Namna hiyo. Tumekubaliana? Are you going to walk with me in that journey? Are you going to walk with me? Are we going to walk together? Kama ni mbaya mbaya. Kama ni noma noma. Kama ni mbaya mbaya. Kama ni noma. Hey. Asanteni sana. Nirudie mwenyeendelee. Kwa sababu nasikia mishi ya njaa.
That is Hassan Joho. That is Hassan Joho, CS for Blue Mining Economy. He has declared his support for William Ruto kumi bila break. That is happening right now. That is happening just right now. Just right now. Okay. So, President Donald Trump orders the US to withdraw from 66 UN and international organizations, including major forums for cooperation on climate change, peace and democracy. This is heartbreaking. US to exit 66 global bodies. Trump bwana. Trump bwana, hata wewe uko na shida sana. Uko na shida sana 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 sana. Okay? So I think that is something that's also making trends around Kenya. There is this picture that has shocked the world where Maduro's wife, Nicolas Maduro's wife, yesterday showed up in court with a black eye. Seems she was beaten while in the hands of the US Special Forces. Another issue that is trending right now. Another issue that is trending right now. KWS recaptures stray lioness in Rongai. The Kenya Wildlife Service KWS has successfully recaptured 2 stray lionesses in Rongai. The operation highlights the challenges and costs associated with wildlife management, as tracking collars used for prides and elephant herds are expensive. This incident underscores the ongoing efforts to manage wildlife in areas bordering national parks. I think that is a story that we shall look into later on. On the trending is this: Blood Parliament filmmaker dies the day he was to appear in court. Filmmaker Nicholas Wambugu, linked to the Blood Parliament documentary released by BBC last year, has died. His passing occurred on the same day he was scheduled to appear in court. The circumstances surrounding his death are currently unclear, but his demise raises questions given the timing of his legal obligations. By the way, that documentary was one of its kind. It displayed how security officers in Kenya shot Protestants, and it was sad. It was very sad. And so the filmmaker has died, Nicholas Wambugu. We pray that God give his family solace, and that we have lost as a people, and we wish the family nothing but a peaceful moment. Okay? This is Justin. Doctors face probe over miracle cure claims at Prophet Wood Crusade. CEO Kirwa said action will be taken against those found to have contravened the medical code of conduct. And I think Prophet Wood should be investigated. Yesterday I said this: Prophet Wood should be investigated. For that matter, Prophet Wood should be investigated so that we ascertain that the miracles he performs are genuine. Prophet Wood must be investigated. Must be investigated, because religion in Kenya, religious activities should be regulated. Religious activities should be regulated. You cannot be purport to be performing miracles and we want a challenge to be done so that Prophet Uhuru can be taken inside various mortuaries, the way I said yesterday. And if he performs he raises people to life, then people will believe him. But I don't. It is also uncouth for a doctor to approve miracle that Uhuru has healed someone, yet Uhuru hasn't healed someone. So I think religious activities must be and should be regulated, so that we do away with these issues to do with performing fake miracles and whatever. All right. Last but not least, let me make quick shout to the top fans. Coben, I can see you. Thank you so much. We have Joseph. Thank you for tuning in. Samuel, thank you for tuning in. GZA, thank you so much for tuning in. Douglas Kip Kogei, thank you so much for tuning in. And Benjamin Juma, asanteni sana kwa kujitwika jukumu la kukua nasi katika kipindi. Thank you so much. That is all I have for the trending, for what's trending. That is all I have for what's trending. Tutasema baadaye. We shall also be in this particular live later on. I think that's what I have for now. My name is Moses Otieno, and you are watching What's Trending. Let me also say that without you, this channel cannot be where it is. It is through your support that this channel has always been where it is. The channel is growing because of your goodwill, because of your support, because of you tuning in every day to ensure that we beautify the world, we make the world a better place than we've always we came to find it. Otherwise, guys, I think it is all I have for now. I will come with a lot more on the happenings around the world, the happenings around Kenya, and I just want to wish you well. Stay safe, be focused, be disciplined, and make sure that at all costs we thank God. You thank God, I thank God for the far. This is 2026, 8th of January. Take care. Ensure that you maintain peace, harmony, hard work, and always, above everything, God. Goodbye for now. Bye.